I know how you feel. You looking through the screen, I know how you feel. You might feel overwhelmed. You might feel like you're at your last straw. You might feel misunderstood. You might feel a lot of negative feelings, negative emotions, negative energy crawling around yourself. But I'm here to show you something because you can turn these negative energies into positive energies just by grabbing a piece of paper or a notebook, and you can journal your emotions, journal your feelings. Personally, I never kind of believed in those things when I was, younger. My younger version of me would have never believed that. And indeed, I was drained, I was depressed, I was anxious, I was all of these things. But after I put the work in and I started to believe and faith in these things, I start to realize how my mental health has had a huge impact. It basically became from negative to positive. Most of my problems were finally solved just by, you know, investigating, just reflecting deeper on those thoughts, on those problems, and finding solutions to cope with them. It's all about the determination, and at the same time, if you think about from a third perspective, okay, imagine that you're not you right now thinking on how to solve these solutions, but you're another person. Imagine that you're the highest version of yourself trying to think that, right? What is, you need to always answer this question every time you face negative thought or a negative experience, etc., etc. Ask yourself, what would the highest version of myself, or what would another person do in this position? What would be the healthiest solutions to cope with this problem? First of all, you need to classify the problem. You say, I don't know, it can be an intrusive thought, it can be a negative experience shaped by the past, which means anxiety, depression. Then you need to tell yourself what's the healthiest solution, and then you just don't need to say that, but you need to apply that to your life in order to believe that. And trust me, the more you act on what you think, the more it will start to become your reality. You need to believe something in order for that to become your reality. You are capable of anything. Your mind is immense, you know. You are immense. You shouldn't listen to people who say, oh, we have limits as humans. No, you can always expand only if you allow your mind and your brain and you have faith in yourself. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and let's get ready for another video. Alright, so in today's video I want to speak about how to journal. Journaling is very efficient for your mental health and in order to understand yourself better, and it can also be a greater way to understand, navigate through your emotions if you can't afford therapy, because most people can't. But you can always, if you just grab, for example, a piece of paper or a notebook like this one, for example, this is where I journal, and you can write down your feelings, write down your emotions, write down your daily routine. I'm going to guide you through steps in order to journal efficiently, and you can find yourself again just by, writing down stuff. All right, so first step in order to journal is get your notebook. I show you again this one, or grab a piece of paper if you don't have a notebook, or I don't know, there's an app also on the App Store if you have an iPhone that's called Journal. You can journal in there, but I recommend just grabbing a piece of paper because sometimes screens can cause anxiety and you can concentrate pretty well. So the first step is, I want you to write down your daily routine in short terms. You don't need to write down everything perfectly. You just need to write down your daily routine and how you felt when you did that task. I don't know, I woke up, but I did not have a great sleep schedule. Okay? Or, I don't know, I had a fight with my parents because I could not control my rage, or I start having anxiety out of nowhere. You just need to write down every action followed by how you felt, okay? The feeling, the emotion behind it all. Second thing I want you to do is, based on these things that you wrote down, you need to find the problem, and on the other hand, you need to find the solution to that. As I mentioned before, think of a third perspective, as if you were another person. What would you do, okay, if this person was struggling, okay? What would be the healthiest solution to cope with this problem? Start saying this. Start, I don't know, maybe visualizing what would be the best thing, what could be the best solution to this. Trust me, visualizing helps because it can give a solution in it too. I don't know, I feel anxious, for example. I can visualize myself calm, brilliant, with positive aura, with positive energy to give to people. And then you start to believe that you are like that. You start to apply that to your character because you don't allow any negative energy, you don't allow any anxieties. You're done with that. You need to heal. And you can just visualize, or you can find ways to cope with anxiety, for example. That's just an example, but it can be valid for any kind of struggle, any kind of problem. So yes, I would recommend, I don't know, for morning, highlight with a different highlighter. For example, you can grab the yellow highlighter and you say morning is yellow, afternoon is green, and I don't know, evening can be blue. Okay, and then for each part you do the solution. Okay, you write down the solution that you think is the best for you, because you are the one who knows yourself better at the end of the day. So first step is I want you after that to read everything. You need to reread your daily routine. You need to reread the problems and the solutions that you just put, and you need to internalize that into yourself. This is fundamental because this needs to be fixed in your brain, and you need to just build the sort of barriers in order not to this problem to happen again. Okay, this problem does not have to happen again, and so you need to build fundamental basis for this. Then after that, fourth step, take a moment to breathe, take a moment to relax, and tell yourself, let's name 3 things I was grateful for this day. Okay, I don't know, even being alive. You know, when you are alive, you are capable of doing anything because you have a body, you have a mind, you are in control of yourself. You know, you are always in control of your thoughts. This is a positive affirmation I tell myself. I'm always in control of my thoughts. I'm always in control of my body. I can do whatever I want because I am a great person and I only allow positive energy for me and other people, right? And these people perceive it because I believe in it, and other people start perceiving that too. But being alive, guys, that's a gift. Life is a gift. Even if you might not believe in that, trust me, life is a gift. Or I don't know, maybe even just having the strength to get out of bed, having the strength to better myself, to find better solutions to cope with my problems. That could be a great thing to be grateful for. Then fifth step is tell yourself 3 things you want to change in your life. I don't know, maybe it could be I want to stop worrying. I want to stop being anxious. I want to get out of this environment. I want to cut this friendship off. It could be stuff like that. And trust me, when you tell yourself 3 things, 3 big things that you really want to change in your life, that's your biggest desire, and you should listen to that. Okay? You should listen to your body, your mind speaking to you, because that means that that person or that event, that situation is draining your energy, and you need to get out from that as soon as possible. So as a sixth step, I want you to reread what were you grateful for and what do you wish to change. Okay, you need to internalize those things again, but this has to be a second step. Okay, it has to be detached from the actual problems, etc., etc. Okay, it just has to be something to better yourself and to improve. Last step, this is optional, okay, but it can be very helpful. You can manifest. By saying that, manifestation does not have to be something, spiritual, something like that. Simply just write down, I don't know, 10 lines, for example. You say, I want to manifest positivity and success. I want to manifest a good friend. I want to manifest me finally healing from my issues. Could be something like that, whatever you want. I manifest wealth. I manifest being healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy, something like that, right? You write down your thoughts on it, okay? And you need to have faith and believe in yourself while you manifest. You need to act as if this thing already happened to you. For example, I manifest a long, wealthy life. I manifest to find my a friend that actually gets me, understands me. I manifest to find peace in myself. You need to write down all of these sentences, okay? And you need to plan, visualize how your dream life would be, okay? And in order for the manifestation to happen, you need to put yourself in places where the manifestation could happen. You can't just write the manifestation down and just hope, have faith that this could happen. Trust me, this already has huge potential, because if you write down, you already know what you can do to improve, but you also need to, take risks. You need to tell yourself, okay, this can be a challenge. I don't know, you can say, I manifest to improve or learn a new language for 30 days. Challenge yourself. Every day for 1 hour, start speaking in that language. Start learning in that language. I don't care how hard it is, but you still did it and you showed up for yourself. I don't want to work out. I don't care. That's discipline. You need to do it because it's good for your body and your mental health. You see how your confidence starts to rise after doing all of these things, so you can manifest to allow positivity. Alright guys, so I hope that this video was useful for you to understand yourself better, and on the other hand, how to journal your emotions, your feelings, whatever. I have a little quote to say that it could be motivational for you. Remember, even if you don't have anybody in your life, you can still have yourself, because once you still have yourself, if yourself still functions, okay? If yourself still finds solution to cope with problems, if your brain is still active, trust me, you have everything. You don't need 100 people to solve your issues. These people will most likely damage you at the end of the day, okay? Because once you finally are confident with yourself, when you don't care about hate, criticism you receive, trust me, you reach the highest version of yourself, because you wake up and the first thing you say to yourself, I want to improve day by day. I want to better myself. And this is when success will come to you. So even if you don't have anybody, master yourself. Master every thought. Master everything. You need to be better than the way you are now. That way you will be grateful and you will receive every achievement you plan for yourself. So yeah, I hope that this video was useful again, and yeah, I hope you like and subscribe, and I wish you a blessed and amazing day and a good journey to heal yourself. Bye guys.